Welcome everyone to today's session for Women in Big Data, AI for Data Professional. Thanks, Amne, for being a speaker for us again this year. So you've been a wonderful partner to work with, helping us, the community. So really appreciate that. I wanted to share about who are we, women in big data. So we have 50 plus chapters, over 6 continents, more than 30K members, and we have been helping the community, empowering women to get into the data field, get across the barriers, and develop and have careers. And we've helped so many professionals transition to it. I myself was in the same boat one time, and having volunteered, I have got great mentorship from the networking opportunities, from the learning opportunities, sessions like this from Amne. We have so many partners. So attending all these technical sessions helped me personally to come to this stage of the career that I am right now. And really excited for you all to having joined. Of course. Now, what do? We host workshops, trainings like these, hackathons, where you can actually be hands on and try out. And it's a great way to get hands on, meet people, meet mentors, different persons in the same field, and learn from each other as well. Networking, please attend our sessions. These are online, free, speed mentoring events, panel discussions. Go ahead and engage with all these different speakers and different members who are there, so you can get from them. Everybody is willing to help out. So just go ahead and reach out, and really great opportunity in this platform for us. Specifically, we have the we have our partnership with DataCamp. So DataCamp is offering free licenses for our community, for underprivileged, and this is just such a great resource. So I wanted to quickly share, like I also have been learning on the platform, and I wanted to share this option. Once you're a member, you can easily join a member, be a member of DataCamp Donates by being a part of Women in Big Data, any chapter all over the world. We have a virtual chapter as well. And this is a recent finding I saw. We have an option to try out different technologies we want to learn, whether it be AWS, Azure, OpenAI, Bedrock, Anthropic. There's so many things, and it's just evolving. So keep engaging and seeing and learning. And of course, we also have the different sessions they have typically. Once you're a member, you can see it every time. On the top, they have these events for the month of July. They have for about the agents, directing the agents, compounding the work. July 20th to 24th. So go ahead and attend them. These are just recordings, also, you could listen in. So if it's a conflict, no problem. You can just catch up. And you can access all these career tracks, all these skills online. You can be a certified data scientist, analyst, anything you want to be. And there's no limit to the number of certifications or number of tries. So, typically, we hold back thinking, oh, what happens if I fail? I don't want to try, right? Because people will know I'm not good at it. It's totally fine. Just go ahead and try it. I mean, if not the first, you'll do it the third time. Big deal, right? What matters is once you have the certificate, then you're able to share your achievements with your network, and social media as well. So that's going to really help you make the transition to big data. And if not already there, moving on to the next level in terms of promotions. And tell us what you think. Please submit your testimonials that we once you're certified we send out every month. So go ahead, share your testimonials. Even if you're not certified, you can still go ahead and share your learning experience with us, and do hashtag us as well, Shala and me, as well as TC Donates, Women in Big Data, so we can help amplify your achievements. So for the last 30 days, we have so many hours, to more than 276K hours learned. All the learners have spent on this platform. And those who are learning XPs, more than 14, about 15K, and so many units are getting completed. So this just shows that those who are taking advantage, people are taking advantage of this opportunity. The top learners, as you can see, have about 54, 540K XPs. And earning XP is very easy. It's as simple as watching a video, right? You earn 50 XPs. So it's really cool if you all can be motivated and continue. And that's how others are also doing. And we have more than 26 learners who've achieved 2 or more certifications. And this is just the last 3 months in the last quarter, right? Similarly, we've had it for the past few years as well. These are the latest 3 testimonials we've received. And you can look them up in our Women in Big Data newsletter. It's posted on our website as well. And coming to the most interesting part for today. So we welcome Amne, and really looking forward to learning how to engage with AI in this new era. So over to you, Amne.
Cool. Thank you so much, Sarvati. I'm going to share my screen and just making sure that you guys can all see it. Cool. All right.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Perfect. Awesome. So for today, I'm going to be talking about AI for data professional. This is including all type of position: data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, and also like expanding it to other non-technical position, product and whatever. So like this workshop is a partnership with Women in Big Data. I've done one a few years ago, focusing on like SQL and other technical skills. Now Word has evolved since then. We like moving to a new era, as Rabasi said. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about my background first. I'm a senior product analyst at Meta. I'm also a LinkedIn content creator. I just reached around like 78,000 followers on LinkedIn. And that comes from my passion to teach and share my knowledge, because for me, knowledge not shared is knowledge wasted. So I'm happy here to be sharing with you what I've learned during my journey at Meta, and also like outside of how can you use AI to become more efficient in your day to day. So what we're going to cover for today's workshop are going to be like 3-4 steps. We have only 45 minutes. If people want to stick longer, I can plug in the Q&A as well. But I'm going to show you what is how to set up your second brain. If you have no idea what second brain means, I'm going to go over it and explain how this works, how to leverage it to build AI workflow. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we want to leverage AI to make it like more efficient for you day to day and make you more efficient in general on your work, so you can focus on more impactful tasks in general. And I'm going to give my view on what is next for data professional in this new age, and then I'm going to leave some room for questions at the end if we have time. So yeah, the first step, setting up your second brain. I think in general, like most of you probably like working in data right now are spend a lot of time. I mean, at least from my experience, spending a lot of time writing SQL queries, writing Python script to finally get to your analysis and then share the insights with the team. I think now that this time has ended, and I think it's good. Like AI can do a bunch of this execution work, helping you to like write SQL, write a bunch of scripts, so you can focus on more impactful work. I remember myself spending like 40% of my time probably like just cleaning data, writing code, just to find out like what the data looks like and then analyze it. And I think the most fun part is actually to look into it and find insights. So I'm happy that like with the AI we can like leverage a bunch of this work and really focus on what matters and what can move the needles within the company. So the second brain, you can think about it as this way: is your personal assistant. It's like your friend that can help you out, or like your intern that you can hire that can help you out with a bunch of tasks. And this personal assistant knows who you are, know what you do, and know what you care about in general. So like um, for AI to be efficient and to be your personal assistant or second brain, you need first the brain, which is the context. It needs to have enough knowledge about like what you do, what the company does, like what's your writing style, all like what you can imagine, so that like it can mimic what like kind of yourself. That's why it's a replica, it's a second brain. And on top of that, with all this knowledge base, if you add AI, it can help you even elevate your work in general, because AI can like take a bunch of information, synthesize them, and make them relevant for you. So this is like kind of a powerful mix between AI and enough context. And what I'm going to go over today is like how to build the second brain. And I'm going to be using a tool called Obsidian. And I can share with you the link to the site here. And by the way, feel free to stop me during the call. I think we're like very few people, so it's a very small room. So if you have questions about how I'm doing stuff, don't hesitate to ask me a question. I'm happy to answer. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna go to Obsidian. I'm gonna assume that like you download the file, and then um, you basically did all of that before the call. So you have access to Obsidian right here. This is how it's supposed to look like. Um, and let me go over like as I was creating this for the first time. You should see this screen, which is create your new vault. Think about a vault as like it's a vault, like it's a bunch of information inside the document. And Obsidian, it's like a note taker that can take up to like 100,000 notes. So it's a very big vault where you can share all the knowledge you have, and you can add Claude into it, so to make it your second brain basically. And the way it works, you create your new vault by just clicking on create, which is pretty simple. I'm gonna call this vault Women in Big Data workshop. And I'm gonna find a location where to put this information. Let's say I create a new folder. I'm gonna use this one. And okay, let me use another one. Sorry, I'm gonna just for the sake of this. You're gonna create like a new folder. And then we're gonna use that folder where we're gonna put all our second brain information inside. I'm gonna hit create. What it's going to do is going to create a new vault. Like here, there's basically nothing happening. There is like just a welcome message, and this is a text where you can like write down all your information. And what we need to do first is like we want to connect with Claude, and for this workshop, if you want to do it at home, once you see the workshop, I want you to like have a membership to Cloud Code. Hopefully, it's like only $20, so it's not a big deal. But if you work in a company, you can use the licensing of their site, so that you don't have to spend anything, and you can spend a bunch of tokens to set up your second brain and make it super efficient. Also, if you guys working in a tech company in general, you can like share this knowledge with your team, so that like they can leverage it and become more efficient in their day to day. And I think that can be really impactful for you. So I'm gonna hit the, sorry, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna hit that like setting. And then what I want to do is go to community plugins. And I'm gonna turn on community plugins. Community plugins is like basically all the plugins we can add to Obsidian to make it more efficient. And I'm gonna browse and look for Claude. There are two options. You can either use the Claudian or the Claude sidebar. You see here that's the number of download of this plugin. This one has been used way more than this one, but I've used both. I prefer the Claude sidebar. So I'm gonna go ahead and install it. Once I install it, the plugin is successfully installed, as you see on the top right, and then I can enable it. Once I enable it, I can close this. And on the left side of my screen, you can see that I have added Claude Code. All right, so I'm gonna wait a little bit for Claude Code to set up, and then it's as simple as that. Just wait a little bit for it to access your workspace. Once it's accessing your workspace, if you remember, we put it in this folder called Women in Big Data Workshop, and I'm gonna say I trust this folder, right? Once I do that, I'm gonna be able to, oops, it's reconnecting to my Claude, no worries. Okay, so if you don't have a Claude membership, what it's gonna do is gonna redirect you to this sign-in piece, and then from there you have to sign in, make sure to have a pro membership to be able to access all of this. Going back to that second brain, I'm here. As you see, there is only one folder, which is the welcome folder. And I want to organize my second brain to make it super or like efficient, so that like it gathers the right information in the right place. If I go back to my slides, the way to organize it into 3 folders, inbox, this is where I put all the raw information. So think about it like if you have email, like Google Drive document, like any type of raw document that like you want to throw there that are useful, you want to put them in your inbox folder. The project piece is where you want to put all your active projects you're currently working on, so that you can get, like access them directly there. And archive are like just past project or like information that you're no longer using right now, but like you still want your second brain to have access to. Think about it as like memories or things that you've done in the past that you like, or project that you've done in the past. You still remember what they were doing, but like you have that in the back of your head. So we're gonna put them into the archive. So right now we understood the process. Now I'm gonna ask Claude to build these 3 folders. Could you create 3 folders named inbox, project, and archive? And I'm gonna give Claude what this means. I'm gonna tell him this is what this means. This is the definition of each of the folders. And I'm gonna paste that text, and I'm gonna say, and add a README, which is like a README document inside it, so people know what this folder does based on this information. All right, so now I click send, and then Claude will like basically go ahead and build these 3 folders for me in my directory. I'm gonna say that they're gonna ask me, do you want Claude to take action and edit? And I'm gonna allow access. You can say yes and always allow access, so you don't have to do it again. Cool. So within few seconds, you now have like the 3 folders that got added to your second brain. You have archive, inbox, and project. I usually want to have like them into like inbox first, project, and archive second. So I'm gonna change their name. I'm gonna just rename them so that like they are like ordered the way I want. So I'm gonna be 01 inbox, so it's at the top. I want project to be second. I'm gonna do 02 project, and then like the archive, I'm gonna put that as number 3. 03 archive. So now it's at the right space, and I don't need the welcome, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So if you get inside each of them, you can see the README, and it has like all the information here. And as you see, it has like very basic information, vast project. And I'm going to ask Claude, could you elaborate on the README file so it's more understandable for anyone reading it? So what it's going to do is going to add more details into the README of each folder. So it's a little bit more useful as people can use your second brain, like can leverage it. I'm gonna wait a little bit while it's currently running, and then yeah. And by the way, if, I know there are like 6-7 people here. If you have any question on the setup or anything, please stop me and ask me a question. Cool. So I did that. Now that, as you see, it adds more information. They're more useful. This is a long-term storage and to place information without cluttering them. And then the project side also have more data, etc. All right. So now we have the structure or the skeleton of the second brain. And what we need now after this is to be able to build it. And the way to build it is like, imagine at work in real life, you'll have Google Drive, Google Calendar, maybe even like Slack or whatever workspace you use that have a bunch of information that you want to access so that you can give it as input to your second brain. So what you need to do here is like when you have your Claude set up, I want you to go to the settings and I want you to click on something called connectors. Connectors basically means it's like other application that you connect to, and you can access their protocol or their specific data, like, and it's like vetted by Claude. In this case, I already added Gmail, Google Calendar, and Google Drive, but I can go ahead and browse connectors. If you have anything that you want to add, like if you have Slack, you can add Slack, Microsoft, Notion, Canva, anything that you have top of mind, you can add that to your second brain. All right, so assuming that we've added all of them, the way I'm going to use it is I'm going to do /MCP. MCP is like the model protocol, which is basically model context protocol. In plain English, it just means it's a way for you to access applications like in a safe way through Claude. And MCP, I'm going to click on it and you're going to see all the MCP I'm connected to, which is Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive, and Mixpanel. So it's great. We have everything we need. I'm going to hit Escape, ESC on like Mac or Windows, and then I have I can go and like remove that, close that window. All right, so I hope everyone is still following along. But like right now we have the MCP, and what I'm gonna do if you have a Google Drive is I want you to kind of use this prompt that I put together to kind of like build your second brain and add all the files into this folders. And the way it should work is like if you copy this one, it's gonna go over all your Google Drive document and add them to each of these specific folders. This process takes around like 15 to 20 minutes and can be very expensive if you have a lot of files. So just be careful if you're using your own tokens, not to like over exceed the number. I already did this process before the call, so don't waste a lot of your time. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how my second brain actually looks like after I added all the data. Cool. So this is how it looks like. I'm going to exit Claude and open it again so you can see a fresh session. But essentially, like all the data that like are from my Google Drive got added now to each of these folder. So I have like the company overview, I have a list of projects I'm doing, and this is pretty cool. The best part here is that now Claude has so much context about your work and what you do, so it can really answer any question you might have and help you like as your assistant in your day-to-day. So I'm going to go back to the slides. The next step is to leverage your second brain to build stuff. We're gonna go ahead and like start like by showing you how to build a skill in general, and this is a common practice. A skill is just a list of instruction that you need your AI to follow. So now let's say you have all the context it needs. We just need to give them instruction to do stuff for you. So this is kind of the easiest part, and I'm going to show you how to do it in a more exhaustive way and like in a simple way. The longest way is to step one is to have a clear description of your skill. So in this case, I built this skill called exploratory data analysis when I want to like explore data, analyze it, and all of that. And what I do is like I provide a pretty like detailed description of like what I want this skill to do. Simple example, I want the skill to explore, analyze, investigate data, answer questions like why did X change, or like uh, find patterns or anomaly, give me insight from the CSV. These are kind of questions that I want this skill to solve. I want also to define the role of the skill. So like I want it to behave as a strong data analyst to kind of like go over multiple data and be able to give me good insights. So like you can define your role, the role of the skill here, so that the AI knows what to do. The next step is define the process of the skill. So this is really personal to you as a data analyst or data engineer on how you work, on how you approach things. My process is different from another data analyst or data scientist in my company. So it has the second brain doesn't need to copy someone else. It has to be your personal touch, because at the end of the day, AI needs to help you to kind of like leverage your work, but not replace it. You still need to have your personal touch. Otherwise, there is no reason for you to be there. If the AI can do all the work, you have to kind of bring your personal touch to it. So that's why I add process, which is my personal process, how I frame the question, how I investigate data. And this is like, yeah, this is personal to me. And I want you to spend a lot of time on defining this process of the skill so that it mimics you as an individual in general. I'm gonna go over like another way to run a skill, and if you have any skill in general like that you want to build, you can post that on the chat. I gave here a few example on what you can build next as part of this workshop. You can inbox triage your like inbox. If you have like 100,000 of emails, you can triage them and then delete them or like read them, etc., through your second brain. This is more difficult. Experiment status tracker. If you have like a bunch of experiments running, you can like build a readout for each one of them. If you have a meeting coming up in your calendar, it can go over like whose meeting it is and how to prepare it. So let's say we're going to a meeting prep brief, and I'm gonna build this skill. Build a skill called meeting prep brief, where you go over my calendar and tell me how to prepare for my upcoming meeting. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit run. And remember that we connected everything to my Google Calendar as well. So it knows all the meeting I have next. So I'm going to go show you really quick. So as you see, I have a few meetings that are happening this week. This is just like fake data, but like I have multiple meetings and I want to know how to prepare for each one of them. So this skill would definitely help me. Okay, so it asked me, how do you like to proceed? Just run the brief or show me the existing skill. I'm going to go with the recommended option, which is option 1, and then it's going to go over and build the skill for me. So it's currently calling the Google Calendar to see all the upcoming meetings I have so that it can prepare me for the upcoming meeting I have. Just gonna give it a few minutes and then it should be ready. Okay, so I'm gonna ask the my new skill. I can call it click on dash, and I'm gonna call it. It's called meeting prep brief. Like, could you tell me how I should prepare for my meeting next week? Keep it succinct and on the table. So like, let's see what it says. We have like a lot of meetings next week. We have like 8 to 9 meetings. I want to be prepared for each one of them. So the skill will help me there. So, okay, so you have several meetings next week. Which one do you want to brief for? I won't say all of them. All of them. Cool. So I'm gonna go over like what it tells me, and I'm gonna like make the screen a little bit bigger so you guys can see. So I have a bunch of meeting next week, but it's like for the Nora Bennett meeting, which is the CEO of this company. She emailed me today saying retention is concern, and I have a meeting with her on Monday, so I need to kind of get prepared and show her some analysis there. And also I have a retention program meeting there with like multiple attendees. I need to pull the latest status on the 5 work stream and review the experiment log before the call. So as you can see here, like for each specific meeting, I have like a really good idea of like what I should prepare for. And this can be super powerful if you guys are really busy in your day to day, and like you can leverage your assistant to tell you how to best prepare for it. And I saw that Nora said that I need to prepare for she sent me an email. I don't know what email, so I'm gonna say, could you share the email she sent me? Oh, I meant Nora. Maybe it's gonna understand it. Yeah. So she said, "Hi, Amne, please help me understand why retention is still down. We need help to prioritize this as soon as possible." Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draft a reply to Nora, but first I'm gonna use my exploratory data analyst skills that like I built before the call to investigate. Could you investigate the retention issue? And then draft a small, short and succinct email to Nora. All right, so I called this skill to investigate what like Nora was calling out about the retention issue. And then it's gonna draft for me a short and succinct email to her so that like we can kind of go over it. This is again, AI is not going to be perfect. You need to kind of keep an eye on like what it does and keep improving it. But it's a good starting point to help you out like with all these requests. And this is especially super powerful when you deal with like multiple ad hoc that are really small and you don't want to deal with them. You can have your assistant here in this case your second brain do that for you. So we're gonna wait a little bit and see what it does. So now, as you see, it's calling the Google Drive. So it's trying to get as much context as possible about what's happening. In a real life scenario, it's going to be able to connect to your database, run query for you, do analysis, and then give you all the insights for the sake of this workshop, we only have like documents on Google Drive, but like imagine in different scenario, it would be not this. So okay, it's giving me all the insight on why retention is down, give me all the evidence, etc. And it's basically now um, giving me all the recommendation, and it's drafting the email for me. So what's cool is that I can go back to my email, go to my draft, see if it can do the draft for me. Let's see. All right, as you see, I just refresh it. It just wrote the draft for me directly with all the insights and everything. So I can play around and like improve the email a little bit if there's something that doesn't sound right. But like I would say in general, this looks pretty good to me. And I'm gonna hit send and answer back to Nora. Awesome. So this is how like you can improve your AI workflow by leveraging your second brain to make your day-to-day like more efficient, and like go like it can help you with meetings. Like the way I want you to think about it is this, like write down in whenever you are at work, like doing something, write down the things that are really manual, anything that you're doing that like requires you to do it manual and like very regularly. And then from there, I want you to build a skill using your second brain to automate this process. And this can save you so much time, help you become more efficient, and focus on things that can actually move the needle and make more impact. Because if I can save 30% of my time not running SQL, not reading through all my emails, I will have a lot of more time to like drive decision and think about strategic work that can actually bring the company to another level. Cool. I know it was a lot. I'm gonna go over on my take on what's the future of data. And like, if you are still listening or still here, I want you to kind of like, uh, for like the next workshop, for this workshop, and if you're recording and like watching it at home, I want you to start like building your second brain, setting up all this process and build skills around like your day to day. And please, if you have any comments, please you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and tell me how it went. If you can also like share your process by posting on LinkedIn and tagging me, this is going to be super cool. I would love to see how this can impact your life in general as a data professional. So what's the future of data? So this is my take, and this is really personal. It might be happening or not happening, but like this is what I'm seeing already in the market, and how I envision the role of data analyst or data engineer in the future. I see it this way. Right now, there are multiple layers in companies. You have like the data analyst, the manager, the director, the VP of analytics, and then you have the CEO. I think there'll be less and less layers because execution is now becoming like easier to do for everyone. So I think we're gonna have less managers and we're gonna have less directors, and the company would be more flat in general because AI is going to be able to do a bunch of the work, and all the politics would be kind of less than before. That's my take and also my hope. The second piece is that every analyst will not work independently by themselves. They will have their second brain, and each one with multiple agents that can be specific and good at a specific task. You can have analytics agent that go over only SQL stuff, etc. You're gonna have someone like a skill or a content agent that's gonna be able to build document for you at like your own writing style, etc. And you have insight agent that can go over like multiple documents, can summarize them and send them maybe to executive to read. You can have dashboard agent that can be build better like dashboard stuff and like etc. So like I think you as a data analyst, you'll have, or data professional, you're going to have to work with multiple agents to make your workflow more efficient. And this is how I see basically the future of data. I might be completely wrong, but this is kind of my take. And please, if you have any think in your like, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I know, like, if you're watching this here today, or like if you're watching the recording, you can drop me a message. Make sure to mention you coming from Women in Big Data. I'll be more than happy to accept your request and connect with you. Cool. I'm gonna open the floor to Q&A. I tried to go over it pretty quickly, so I hope it was useful.
Yeah, thanks, Amne. Definitely a lot of content in this AI era. Thanks for sharing that with us. Do we have any questions? Feel free to go ahead and ask your questions. I wanted to ask one question, Amne, for everyone's benefit in terms of tokens. So tokenomics is such an important, so important, right, for using AI because the money payment is coming as per the tokens, right? So, what are some tips that you can share with us to ensure that the token usage is optimum and works best? Of course, prompt engineering is, of course, one of the answers, and would really love to hear more on that.
Yeah, I think in general, like the context you bring to the AI, like if you're sharing all the Google Drive, the whole thing, and there are information that might not be useful, just don't include them. Include all the stuff that are personal to you and then can be useful. That can save a lot of storage and information. So like when you ask a request, it doesn't have to go through all this gigantic uh, Google Drive. So first, I would limit the number of like input on the context, and I think the second is as your second brain starts evolving and become more and more personal and more like you become more connected to the brain. There are pieces on the archive that you can remove as well that are maybe not relevant anymore, so that like you can cut down because like the AI will only have a limited input unless you have unlimited money, but unlimited input of information, limited input of information. So if you can cut down some of your second brain on data that you don't need or information that you don't need, this can make it even more efficient for you. These are kind of the two tips, and also like the other piece, like if you don't need I didn't go through that, but like if you don't need like very expensive model to run your work, you can use like the cheapest one. Like don't no need to use like the latest model on like all of that. You can just like use the low cost model. For example, if you're like dealing only with like creating calendar or like checking a brief of your upcoming meetings, this doesn't require like a very expensive model, so you can do a bunch of that, yeah, for almost free.
Thanks for sharing that. We should be more, understanding of what model to use and accordingly use that to help with the tokenomics as well.
For sure, yeah.
And what are some trends in the job market that you see developing in this AI era?
Yeah, I share with Shal like the Dataford report that like because on the side I have a side project where like it's an interviewing platform and to have a bunch of data on like people interviewing and like where the market is heading. um, the software engineer is still like the top one position, but there's like new positions that are emerging. One is the AI engineer. I think it's very specific to the data group here. AI engineer is like equivalent of ML, but like a little bit more towards AI stuff. There's also forward deployment engineer. That's like a role that has been booming a lot lately. Site reliability engineer is becoming also big because AI breaks stuff. It not only fix stuff, it breaks stuff. So you need to have reliability engineer to fix some of this vibe coding era. So like it's also going up. Prompt engineering used to be like a big thing beginning of 2025 and like end of 25. It started to drop a little bit. It's not as big as it used to because models themselves now can do that for you. I show you in the workshop, you can run a skill generator to build like yourself the skill, so you don't need to kind of do it from scratch. Um, so yeah, this is kind of the trend, and I think another big trend which we're already seeing in the big tech layoffs is that like the managers and they're like trying to flatten the organization as much as possible. So like many manager are now becoming IC, individual contributors. So that's happening and it's going to continue to happen. And more people are going to be like doing stuff rather than like having to deal with like politics or strategy, all of that. Like now we're in an era where everyone can execute and do things. So it gives like more power to anyone in the company to make impact. So I think it's a pretty good time to be around.
Thanks for sharing. And yeah, for we do have a blog which was published on the Women in Big Data website. I've posted in the chat, and we all due to your all credit to your blog. So it's already mentioned there. Just FYI. So thanks for sharing that.
Awesome. Cool. Well, it was great doing this workshop. I hope we can do more stuff in the future.
Great. Sounds good. Thanks everyone for your time. If we have no more questions, then we'll call it a day. And thank you, Amy, for staying up so late. And, you would get value out of this, of course. And you made it all worth it for all of us. So
Cool. Thank you so much.
thanks.
All right.
Bye.
See you.